Hello, hello. Here we are with another live stream. Hopefully everyone's having a good Tuesday afternoon or evening or morning, depending on where you are. Today we have a few things in mind, in plan. And these last few days I've been doing some renders and preparing the compositing file. So hopefully, I hope that the stream quality is okay and that I'm not being laggy or anything like that. And yeah, I'm gonna do just one quick thing here and add here, okay, a window capture. So we will be able to see here Fusion as well. So like this, we can have this going over. Okay, this should work fine the way it is for now. And I'm going to open up here the view ref as well. So now I have a lot of windows open. So I'm gonna do a quick recap here. The last time was a short stream. So like this, I'm gonna switch back here to Blender with this one open as well. I was testing the render settings. As you can see here, like I was testing mostly the set here. Okay, I'm seeing here in the broadcast that it's maybe a bit too small. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger. I'm gonna enlarge this by quite a bit, so it's more clear, more visible. So yeah, I've been testing here this the set render layer, and I've done screenshots for different render settings just to see what is being rendered faster, slower, depending on the different settings. Some were being rendered 2 minutes, others were being rendered 3, 6 minutes, depending on the noise threshold, on the maximum sample amount, and on the bounce amount as well. Depended as well on the tile size. This depends of your graphics card, what it can handle. Some handle lower tile sizes better than others. I found that for me, usually 256 the tile size is working pretty well without losing too much quality. And yeah, after a lot of testing, I was able to pull out with something like this, with having a lot of bound samples, the maximum sample count at 256, and the noise threshold at 0.01, and with the clamping set to 1 and the tile size set to 1. And it turned out mostly clean, and we have here the time of the render, which is one minute, which turned out very nice. Where I've managed to I've managed to render out most of the set here in under 1 minute. This is a quick compositing that I did inside of Fusion. Let me see here if I can scale this one here, this window. Where do we have it? Here, something like this should be okay. And then when we play, I've also added here, I've changed up a bit the texture here of the chandelier, you could say, of the lamp, and yeah, fixed a few more things. In the Fusion setup, I've added some small things as to some depth of field, some motion blur, and yeah, some mist as well, rendered from the Blender's internal render. An extra pass, obviously. And yeah, we can, let's see, I can play this. There's gonna be some glitching going on in the end, well, you can see here, just because it didn't finish rendering these layers properly. So I'm missing the last, you can see here, until 153. I have 30 frames more or less, 35 frames left to render. But yeah, for the sake of testing, I might do another render of the set just to reduce the noise a bit more, and maybe even try the denoiser, since I've managed to cut down the render time from, well, some renders were 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 8 minutes, to down to 2 minutes and even 1 minute. Some of the renders were going from the set in 40 seconds, so that is quite good with the amount of samples that I had going on. And yeah, with just with a bit of compo, it already turned out nice, just with a bit of depth going on there in the back, and the daytime scene is looking quite nice, all in all. There's a few more tweaks to do there, and I would require a few extra things from Blender, a few masks here and there for be able to mask out some parts here and there. But all in all, it's looking quite good. So we're gonna make this quite smaller. And there's, as I said, some masks that I would like to get out of the compositor, out of the render, because compared to the shot that I have here, the stick is going behind this pole, and since I'm rendering them separate, I have the CryptoMates separate as well, which I would need to have them together and not separate. So I would actually need to go into the layer that I have here, everything, and render out the CryptoMate for everything. But the good thing is, since we are going to do the other scene, the nighttime or the funky, so to say, scene, or maybe even both might do, if it doesn't take too long to change up the lighting. Just gonna have to render out the Cryptomate one time, and we can reuse it then for the other parts, for the other light setups. Same in this way for Fusion here. So this is the separate passes that I have going on. So you can see that in the diffuse there is also some noise going on, which I would like to clean up. Here the indirect is having some noise, which is not really that visible in the final output, maybe here a bit in the shadows. So yeah, here the things are getting mixed. I'm looking here in the broadcast. I have a feeling that it would be better if the bitrate is actually maybe even higher. Just because I'm moving a bit faster around these settings here. Hopefully this does the trick. So yeah, I have here a remove noise. Just it's just something to test out and to see if it's removing some noise or not. It's pretty minuscule. If it's removing the noise and everything, I would need to go in per layer, and depends on the layer, separate, remove the noise. For this reason, I would like to revise the settings inside of Blender one more time and do another render. I have here one color correct node for now, just some desaturation that I've been playing around a bit, and just to see how it might look. Like here we can even here could be playing around with the tone of the scene, and maybe even going as far as it's here, as playing around with the overall look and feel of the scene, to maybe get some different look in the scene itself. And then after the set, here I have the small depth of blur going on for the overall set, the overall scene. And here is the separate passes for the character, a small mask here for the character, which is the thing that I will be needing here. So for example, here you can see that the character is going here in front when I turn this mask here on. So now he's behind this part, which is okay. But then later on, when the camera starts moving to the right side, it's a bit to load. Can turn on maybe the proxy here setting to go a bit faster. So the thing is to have this thing, this mask, turn off at one point. But I will need a mask, I think, or I will be able to mask it out manually. Just this one part where the stick is protruding into the mirror itself. I think it's somewhere around this or frame 40. Yeah, here. Frame 35 maybe, where we have the full frame. Still loading. So yeah, here this part. So it could literally be literally this part here that I would want to mask out. So yeah, in this kryptonite, I'm having them separate. And here, then it's going on top. Can leave it like that because I'm gonna worry about this later on. Just wanted to show here the general setup. So we have the set. It's getting merged into the depth of field here for the set. Okay. Then we have the character that is going on top. Need to fix here this masking issue for the set and the character, since the character is a layer that is going on top of the set, but it needs to be masked out so that some parts are obviously behind other parts that are connected to the set, which when you are rendering everything together, you're not gonna face this issue, but then you have to, if you have some issues in the render, you will have to render everything again. So then these two things get merged together, and then we have here a mist pass that looks like this, that is giving a bit of depth to the to the scene that the depth, the mist here is tinted. It can be tinted to whichever color you like. You can tint it like this. It can be a bit bluish as well. And then it's being multiplied, and you can here, yeah, in this one you can, I already lowered the gain because otherwise it would be quite strong on top of everything. Interesting. Interesting that it's not picking up the mirror, or it is, but it's super soft. Let me see here. No, it's being cut here. It's clearly being cut. But this shouldn't be happening. No, we want... Oh, screen was okay. Screen was working just fine there. Oh, I'm not sure why. I'm not sure why it should cover the mirror itself as well. Why does it do this harsh cut? Because of it's missing actually. It's missing both the character. Okay. Okay. So I might actually need to do this. Almost like clamp the values. And have this then. Have this go here, behind the character itself. So we have something. So yeah, we can have a bit of mist in the background here and leave this part then okay. Why isn't YouTube receiving enough video? Let's see. What is the matter? First it's telling me it needs less bitrate, but then it's not enough. It's just so indecisive. What else could you want? I'm trying out different settings, so hopefully Hopefully this should work better than what we had before. Let's see again, because I am a bit at a loss for words here when it comes to this. But well, let's continue on. So I've left the color here to be of yellowish orangish tone. Something like this, and then I've lowered the gain to like a 0.3 so that it's very subtle, and it's raising just when I turn off the node. It's raising just a bit the background, and it's adding a bit of volume to the overall scene. Maybe even 0.5 can work, since we have this amount of light coming in. And then later on, I still haven't rendered out the volume that would come in here from the right side. That would give another layer here of depth. And then we have this here, that is the motion vector, the blur that is being done with this vector here, vector node, which is fine. Is nothing too crazy, but because rendering out from Blender directly would most likely produce a better result for the character, but it might also increase the render times. I still haven't done a test on that, since the character pass was being rendered in like if I remember correctly, in maybe 30 seconds or something like that. And yeah, there's not much else here that I would do. Like maybe where was it? So that we can see here. Let's do something like this, and then what we will do is invert. Yes, we would invert, but we would invert. Okay, so let's see here. Settings, apply mask inverted. Okay, yeah, here we go. Since it's hidden here in the back. So we would do this, and we could say that this here is what's the name of this? Is it a note? Sticky note, yeah. Note, and we can have here, and this is a vignette. And here we have the motion blur, so that we know where what is. Can add here a bit more space. Mist, can call this mist pass. And this one here is the depth blur. Okay. So now that we have these things named, now that we know which one does what, now that they're set up, we can go here and lower the amount that is getting merged to like 0.05 or even 0.1. Let's see here. Maybe 25. So that it just focuses a bit more on the character. Yeah, this is fine. We can add a few more things here. I would like to add dramatic aberration later on as well, and some noise. Let's see here, this one, where we want to add noise, but this one is a different noise than from what we are getting here from the scene. So yeah, this one is, let's see here, detail 10. Now if we can put it even higher. Scale 100 or even 200. What else do we have here for settings? Brightness, contrast, details. Let's see how it looks with the added noise. Yeah, of course. Let's add in a brightness contrast node. And let's set this to overlay. Let's see here, we have here some, I don't remember this node. Okay, it's for 3D use. Maybe we can blend in maybe we can blend in these two noises together and have some variation here as well. With these two noises so that it's not so uniform. Let's put in a random angle there. Let's keep these two things locked. Okay, and then now we can play here with the overall values here of the noise. Something as well subtle. Don't want too much noise neither. Just something maybe that is adding a bit to the overall scene. Could colorize the noise as well, like we have in Blender, the noise with colors. But for now, just gonna copy the nodes as well. So we have these two things here. And what else here? What else? Let me see if there is... Oh, there is something called film grain already. Okay. So... Ah, yes. Wasn't aware that this was there. But well, more or less, both of these things are doing, I think, the same thing. So if we leave the film grain on, yeah, I mean, in the end, it's more or less a similar type of noise. You can add like just a small amount here. Let's see what the roughness does here. Yeah, this is just fine. Let's see here, this one. What does it do? Okay. I've never used the fast defocus here, so I'm not really sure if it's worth using or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although here, effect mask. So if so we have this one as a film grain, but we don't need to use these noises here, which were doing more or less the same thing. I wanted to see then we can use this and just see if I can control the noise, the focus with this here or not. I mean, it's the focusing everything. I'm almost inclined to use the faster focus just because to lower the sharpness of the image a bit, not too much. Although it's it is the sharpening it a bit too much to my liking. Well, can leave it like this for now, and let's call this one a global defocus. This one, the vignette. Turn on the vignette here and put the grain here. Let's leave the noise here. And let's check here for the I'm not sure if it's this one that is doing the chromatic aberration or if there is some other thing that is doing it. Let me see here. Display controls. Yeah. Okay. So it's adding it, but why is it changing so much the color of the overall image? This is something that I don't like. Okay, these are the basic settings. Well, let's see here. So this one is not it. Linear aberration. Softness. Okay, what is this? Scale. No. Displace controls light power. Okay, this is doing this thing. What is the spread doing? I'm not seeing it. Fraction and height. Yes, but should work. Should work. Why is it saying that it's not working? It got bugged out maybe there for a moment. So I don't get here this part. Is it because of the alpha that it's blurring it this amount? I mean, that is yeah. Okay, I'm able to control it with a fall-off gain. Okay. Okay, so I don't need another color corrector. So if I leave it here, let's see, something like this might be fine. And then we can have something like this here. So a bit of chromatic aberration that is lightening up the scene quite a bit. But well. Oh, the softness here was too much. Okay. So we can leave that one. Wow, it's lighting up the scene. The fall up here isn't doing much. It's lighting up the scene by quite a lot, which is quite surprising. Not even going lower than this. Making quite a bit of a difference. So maybe we can play a bit here with these settings. To get what we had here before. Because the character is almost burning, almost has burning values, but it's I think it's working fine. Check here, maybe some the blur is okay. Bit weird in some parts, but it's fine. So maybe I would even put here a merge node and have the film grain go into the merge. Just so that, since the film grain here itself doesn't have any control over the intensity of the noise itself, like this with the merge node could control how much of the noise should be visible and not. Although I'm not seeing it here. Like this, we could even mask out maybe the noise that we have in the scene in general. Maybe we could avoid doing a re-render. Could work, could work. Let's save it here, and let's leave it at that for now. We have here the main render output. And the last color correct here in case we need it. And we can go, we can use this setup more or less in our other scenes as well. Let's go here. Oh wait, I'm not sure. Yeah, let's save it. And I'm not sure if I might need to redo some things for the other scene. Since I fixed a lot of as well things here in the last scene. What do we have here in this one? Let's check it out quickly. Yeah. Yes. It's the funky scene with the funky colors. That I was doing the test with the different light contrasts and whatnot. So let's stop it here. This one is named incorrectly. Let's not save it. I'm gonna open the last scene and we're gonna start from there. I'm gonna save it. Let's go here into the layer where we have everything set up, because like this I can use already the rendering setup that I did here, and it's just going to render quicker, and overall just need to do some smaller tweaks to the compositing here and to have it rendered out. So let's check here. Let's go back to our references for one moment. And I have here I need to minimize here. Tweak a bit the windows here in OBS so that you can see still parts of the scene. So yeah, some of the references that we can use to work with, and I'm gonna keep the references here in this lower window here like this, just because the lower part of the right window is pinned to be the render settings, so it's not so important at the moment. This thing here should have I do need the shader editor. Should have the updated material. Let's change up the lighting then a bit here. I'm gonna leave these ones on. Coming here from the back. Something like I really like this one here. This lighting is definitely one of my favorites just because of the red and the overall green here, the teal tone. Because the other ones are a bit more neutral. So we could go with something in that direction. And yeah, in the end I've decided to hide this just because it was causing some unnecessary issues with the transmission and with the mist pass and everything that in the end I decided to avoid. That I think it's an issue with Blender for me, to me unknown reasons, why the mist pass is creating some grainy, noisy results with when it comes to transparent materials. So I wasn't quite sure. Like, obviously one way to handle it is just to hide this, but that in the end is creating more problems than I would like, more complications. So I just decided, since it wasn't there in the scene in the first place, I just decided to hide it, and that was it. Okay, so let's leave these two things here. What could we do? We could have the red coming from this side here, from the left-hand side, and then coming the teal coming from the window from the outside, or the other way around, where we have some dramatic light from the outside that is red. Almost like this. But well, it is problematic since everything here in this scene, there is not so much. The set here is brown. Like, these props are brown. I have here, well, I have brown, but I have as well a lot of red. So maybe, let's see, maybe we can go without this one. And we can play here more with the other lights that we have in the scene. What if we go red? We can delete all of them. Oh, We can delete all of those, and let's duplicate these ones, but with Alt D instead. And we're gonna have almost as if we were using drivers. So now if we increase, we're gonna increase the power on all of them. So yeah, something like this could work. We can have the red coming from there, and we can have the overall scene then be this sort of a teal color. Let's copy these values and paste them here into this one to have a bit of bounce on the... Oh, I messed up the camera there. Okay, here while holding shift. So we have a bit of bounce on the left side of the cup. We can do the same on this here. Need to have a bit of red for sure there. The dress needs a bit of red as well. Okay, keep messing up the framing here. So maybe keep these lights white as they were. I did have here I feel like it's not actually doing the thing that I would like to see here as the lighting profile, but it is what it is. Okay, I'm not able to select this light just because it was turned off here. soft greenish fall off as well. So this is creating it's contrasting with the floor here, giving off so we might need to go the floor is definitely an issue here, just because the way it's creating this light here and just the general color of the floor. So we don't want here, this is definitely too strong. We don't want the focal point to be on the lamp here. The rim light for the mirror being quite strong, quite intense as well. Here I believe the volume could do a lot of work. So let's do a quick test here. Let's try it here with these settings. We can increase emission and add color to the emission as well. So yeah, the volume will do most of the heavy lifting here, I would say. Could be an interesting shot like this. And could be usable if we add this light. It's definitely a matter of trial and error in this scenario, just because when picking some references, it's just not the same scene, not the same layout, not the same camera angle. Depending on the things, it can work. In other cases, it might not work. So like this, if we adjust here the lighting coming from the back as well, gonna have a bit more contrast going on. And then we're gonna need to lower a bit these settings. Now the floor isn't so noticeable anymore. Let's save the progress that we have done here so far. Let's try doing a quick render. Half a resolution is fine. We can up the samples to 256. Okay, we have this one open here. Since we have volume here, I'm gonna up the samples. I'll leave this one as is, and let's lower the tile size. And yeah, in this case we can leave the denoiser on, since we're not gonna render the full animation. Let's see what we get here. Should be an overall quick render, even with the volume going to take maybe 1 minute, even less, since it's only half a resolution. Should be doable almost in comp with the mist pass to achieve this look. So let's see for the next one what we can do there. And yeah, I'm going to wrap it up here. I have some other things to attend to do, but yeah, this could work as well with this teal setup, and then having there a bit of red warmth coming through. In the end, it doesn't look like it's too much red in the scene compared to how it looked in the viewport. So let's see. And then in the meantime, the daytime scene will be wrapped up in comp, and then can continue on to work on this light setup, or maybe even do something maybe more even like this one here. Where's the classic orange blue tones, or even the funky time scene where we have the green and the pink that is looking as well not too bad. It's an interesting look all in all. Here we're gonna add a screenshot here. We can compare here. We need to go a bit more onto the blue side, less to the green, and we can then achieve, I think, this look that is quite apparent to this that they did in the movie. And yeah, until the next one, see you and have a good one. Ciao, ciao.